Why is sales so crucial to winning? I mean, I know it's obvious, but sometimes the obvious isn't obvious.
Yeah, well, you mentioned it earlier. Nothing happens until a sale is made. That's when the action takes place. I love the story of the 5 frogs who were sitting on a log, and 4 decide to jump off. And I often ask people, how many are left? The answer is 5, because deciding is different than doing. When those frogs are on the log, they're letting everyone know they're on the log. That's promotion, which we talked about in the last episode. But when they jump, that's when the sale is made. And that's what happens, and that's what sales does, is something happens when a sale is made.
And it's also the joy of the journey, and especially for those of us that are predisposed to it. I mean, trust me, my favorite part in my career in real estate was handing the keys over to a buyer of a home that never thought they'd have a piece of the American dream. I loved the emotion of that. I loved helping solve problems. I loved helping being in kitchen tables when there was real challenges at home or finances and being there to solve the problem. But trust me when I tell you, and again, I'm dating myself 35 years here, when I put a written contract into my briefcase, closed the briefcase and walked to my car, I didn't skip, but I had a skip in my heart. And there's just nothing like it. And, I do events and we pour ourselves into the events, but I like to know the numbers, because for me, more than a standing ovation or you're the greatest or this impacted my life, people actually jumping off the log and getting into coaching, people starting the journey, because I knew without the help they weren't going to do it. And that was the deal, and that still drives me today. And I know we have a few things we're going to go through here, but talk to me a little bit about yourself. Like, why do you love sales?
Well, Brian, I love whatever it might be I'm selling. Sometimes I'm selling myself, or whether it's when I was selling the Dave Ramsey show, or whether I was selling peaches, as we've talked about in the past, or the different things that I've done. Yeah. It usually involves a couple things. Number one, I know that if somebody will trust me, they're going to love what I have to offer them. I really believe that. And so that's why I love a sale. And then when it happens, I feel like I've accomplished something. I got the ball across the goal line. And there's a great feeling in that of accomplishment. So it's really both sides. Yes, there's something in it for me, but also I really do believe that what I'm offering, what I'm selling, is going to benefit who I'm selling it to.
You bet. I always say enthusiasm, right? The last 4 letters of enthusiasm is IASM, and that can often be the acrostic for I am sold myself. And the sale that's made is the feedback that someone is also sold on you. And it's the ultimate. We hear a lot today and a lot of books written about knowing your why and how that can help you sell. You have a bit of a different perspective on this, and I like your perspective on it more than many of the books that have been written that are not from the real world. Share a little bit of how this can help you in sales.
Yeah, Brian, I'm glad you asked that. This thing about why, it's so big today. And as you said, there's been so many books and there's TikTok videos and all these things about your why. I think people get hung up on this more than anything else. And you're almost guilted if your why isn't big enough. If your why is not building a freshwater well in Africa, then your why is not big enough. And you know what, Brian? I think your why is seasonal. I think it can change. You know what? When someone tells me that their why got them off the couch and got them to jump off that log, I don't care what the why was. It worked. It was good enough for them. About 10 months ago, I was a little out of shape. I was a little overweight. And I had some opportunities on my calendar where I was going to be in front of a lot of people. One of them was your event, Peak Experience. My why for getting in shape was I wanted to look better on stage than I would if I didn't get in shape. You know what? That's enough. That's a good enough why. So I think this idea that people almost feel bad, oh, my why is not big enough. Hey, your why is anything that gets you to act.
Right. Jump off that log.